And I got some. Here we go. From the ladies. Hey, Bill. I've been listening to your Monday morning podcast for about a year. Actually, my boyfriend listens, but now I'm hooked, which is awesome. Anyways, I just want to say that I agree with you about the 21-year-old virgin from last week. And then she says, what Mia, it's Nia with an N, not an M. A lot of people mess that up. What Nia with an N says makes sense to my wiring. Being a female, romance and fuzzy feelings are fun, but my 10-year relationship has given me a little insight into a man's perspective, and I agree that the young man may get laid, get totally attached to the nerdy chick, and then, like a little domesticated puppy dog, proceed to follow this nerdy first-time girl around, waiting for her sexual peak, waiting and waiting and waiting. Then, voila, he's 40, horny, feels like he's wasted his youth, perhaps angry at himself and women at large, and then who knows? Maybe a comb-over and a Corvette, maybe a serial killer. Who knows? For the record, it's not that I don't think love works, but I do think that men have to come to that on their own. Fucking brilliant. Absolutely. She's basically agreeing with me that you have to fuck the demon out of you. After they've realized that they want a relationship to come home to, or perhaps they realize that they don't, which is fine. But then there won't be children to fuck over and a relationship ruined. Absolutely. Now, if I hadn't freaked out Nia about my goddamn gun talk, you guys would have loved me. Charlton Heston would have been fucking high-fiving me from the goddamn grave. I could have had her comment on that. Number 2. Actually, you know what? Let me get her for a second. Hang on a second. Okay, and with the magic of the pause button, the lovely Nia has returned to the podcast. And don't you look lovely?
Thank you.
All right, listen to this. I actually got to kind of read that. This girl actually kind of agreed with me last week. Remember last week, the 21-year-old virgin? Virgin?
Why do you keep saying virgin?
I would love to say that I have dyslexia. I have a rare case of dyslexia.
That's not what dyslexia is.
Where I don't even have to be reading to do it.
Right. You just mispronounce words. All right. So who agreed with you?
Are you in a mood? Are you in a mood? Let's keep it nice. Okay? I didn't bring you on here to have you do things that I don't appreciate. All right.
Just get on with it.
The 21-year-old virgin.
Yes.
This is a lady who's saying this. All right? Because I asked the broads, to quit their fucking whining and write a goddamn email.
Just read what was written.
I'm trying to make it funny here. Let me turn you up a little bit there, fucking squeaky. I already read this damn thing. I have to paraphrase now. Okay? She says basically Nia, I told her it's not Mia.
Happens all the time.
Makes sense with all the warm, fuzzy feelings. Look at me. Don't look at the email, all right? But now that she's been in a relationship for 10 years, she kind of understands that guys have to come to a point where they realize that they want to be in a relationship. Okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So telling this guy right out of the gate to just go for the warm fuzzy might be the right thing, but I mean, you could send this guy could end up just latching onto the first thing he ever fucking, bent over. Right? And then all of a sudden he comes out the other side and just realizes, I wasn't in love with this girl and all this pussy I could have gotten, and then it could make him a woman hater.
Give me a break. That's gonna make him a woman hater?
Yeah.
As opposed to what? So wanting to take somebody out and go on dates and stuff and having it not work out, that's a worse idea than just going out and just banging a bunch of chicks. Because banging a bunch of chicks and just treating them like disposable fuck toys, that's not going to make him disregard women.
Not saying...
No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't do that at all.
No,
yeah,
I'm not saying...
I'm crazy. I'm the crazy one.
Oh,
for
Jesus Christ. Can we turn the sarcasm down a couple of notches? Nia, first of all, you don't understand how guys are wired.
I do understand how guys are wired.
You don't. I don't understand how you're fucking wired. I would never tell you what you're thinking. You're telling me, I'm telling you right now.
First of all, I didn't tell him how he's wired. I just said if he had an instinct. The thing is, you guys are twisting everything that I set up. All I suggested was, he said, should I take her out to dinner and all this other stuff, or take her out and because he was talking about being a nerd and liking. I don't remember what he said, but he said something about wanting to take her out and getting to know her. And I said, yeah, that's a great idea. And now it's like, no, it's terrible because he's a boy. You should tell him just to fuck everybody.
No,
and
that's
not
not what
take
I'm saying.
anyone out.
That's not what I'm
God
saying.
forbid he falls in love.
I'm saying this dude he's in dire straits right now. Okay, if he's 16 fucking years old and he likes a girl, okay,
Dire straits. It's not that serious. He's only 21 years old.
No,
Give me a break.
no. He's up to his fucking neck in I'm never gonna get laid in my life. Okay, and the water is swirling down the fucking drain. All right, so he's desperate right now. So anybody fucking pays attention to him. I'm not saying, I just was worried that that's what the fuck he was going to do. He's going to get sucked into a goddamn relationship. And there is that thing. And you know something, Nia? When people fuck up in life, how often do they actually own up to it themselves? Like, that was a stupid thing that I did. They usually don't. That's how you end up fucking, why he could possibly end up hating women, because he's going to blame them. Not that it's their fault. It's not this nerdy chick's fault that this guy hasn't gotten laid in 21 fucking years. You know, it's not her fault, but it'll end up being her fault. I mean, I'm explaining resentment to you. You understand resentment. I don't need to explain that, right?
Yeah, but I think you're also, when people talk about doing stuff like that, that you're also coming from a place of fear. And I just don't believe in that.
You know, I can't argue that. All right, let's go on to the next one. See that, people? I establish credibility. You admit when you're fucking wrong. I do come from a place of fear. I know what you bitches is up to. All right, number 2. Dearest William, you always bitch.
Who wrote that?
No one did. I just dressed it up a little.
Oh, okay.
You always bitch that women don't write in for advice. Well, here you go. I met this guy a year ago. Now, I want to answer this one before you go on one of your rants. Let me just answer this one, and then you tell me if I'm right or wrong. I met this guy a year ago at a mutual friend's wedding. He's fucking hot. He wore a pair of pants that were so tight I could see everything.
Wow. Could see his sausage.
My sausage. Let's just say he gift wrapped his package and it was well received.
Heyo!
Wait a minute. She keeps going with the late night jokes, but he's so cocky. Bump, she says.
Oh, God.
Oh, Jesus. I didn't think he'd have any interest in me. A while later, he invited me to a party and paid me an undue amount of attention. About a week later, he had me over for dinner. And when I say he had me over for dinner, that sounds like a setup. No, but it isn't.
Okay.
It isn't. And when I say
dinner, I mean,
yeah,
it's like a bad Sex in the City joke.
Yes, that you've watched every episode 100 fucking times.
I have.
Ugh.
Well, that's why I can speak on it better than you can, because you haven't seen it. So, anyway, read the rest of the letter.
Yeah, that show, it's like fucking Entourage. You see one episode, you've seen it. Oh my God, we have a problem. What's going to happen? Oh, it all worked out. Let's go to Vegas. Fuck you, turtle. Right?
No.
That's the episode.
No.
All right, whatever. Go fuck. I don't give a shit. I watch sports. Anyways, and when I say I mean we ate, I mean this is funny. This is actually funny. She goes, I mean he bragged about himself a lot, and we jumped into bed basically before I drained the drops from my wine glass. That's what you do with a dildo, right? I like this girl. She's fucking.
Wow.
She's using them. Yeah. Wow. Can you believe that? Can you believe? Look at you. Just.
Is she calling saying I never get laid and what do I do about it? No, she's talking about something else entirely. So don't even try to compare the two situations.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that women can think like guys too.
Duh.
Well, I thought that's what you were reacting to.
No.
Like going, wow. Like, why'd you say wow?
No, because I think that's awesome. She's being very upfront about it.
Oh, well, your
no.
read of wow was terrible.
Well, fuck you. I'm not auditioning for your little ham radio show you have going on here.
Really? The one that you go, can I be on it again?
You asked me to come in here tonight.
That's because I felt bad because I freaked you out about saying how I wanted to buy extra paper towels.
Oh, my God.
They know what it was about. All right, let's fly. Okay, let's go here. We slept together about once a week for the next 2 months. But because he said at the first dinner that he wasn't into having a relationship, even though all his friends marvel that he's so wonderful and not married, I did my best to keep it casual. So this guy basically said he didn't want a relationship, so she's keeping it casual. Anyways, after we hung out a bit, I started to realize he wasn't really as much of a dildo as I initially thought, and I knew I was in danger of developing feelings for him.
Uh-oh.
So, of course, I got more distant, and he ended it saying, ironically, this isn't going anywhere. Then she, in parentheses, says, wait, what? I thought you said you didn't want a relationship. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, Jesus.
That's what she wrote. All right. She goes, I didn't object, but I told him I wanted to be friends and may have sent him an overly drippy drunk text or two. Last week we had dinner, and from the second he got there, his hands were all over me. He flirted like fucking crazy all night, but we went our separate ways. Here's what I want to know. Is it possible for us to date now, like for real? Now that I know him better, I think we could really have something, but in my experience, and according to all my male friends, guys don't stay interested in someone they fucked before, especially if he got bored enough to end it the first time around. What's your take, Bill? Can I make this happen again, and if so, how? This is what I think. I think the fact that this guy's a douche. All right? That's the father of your kids, some guy who shows up with his fucking package hanging, like he's fucking Robert Plant and the song remains the same. That's the guy you're going to fucking breed with. And then you have dinner with him, and all he does is talk about himself. Mm-hmm. Hey, let me do this. I don't need you doing. I don't like that.
You don't like me agreeing with you?
No, I don't want that.
Okay.
I'm not in a church right now. I don't need to go. Mm-hmm. I think you know what. Okay, you know what? We can talk about this. You know what I think really happened? I think that his ego was bruised. This guy's obviously tremendously fucking insecure, so he overcompensates with the fucking ego. So he talks about how awesome he is.
And he has a big dick, so he bangs a lot of girls, and girls get all caught up in it, like you do sometimes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I really didn't need to know that.
I'm just being honest.
Didn't need to know. Can you just shut up and let me just? I'll walk out of the room as you fucking answer this.
Oh, okay.
This is it. All right. He fucking. As I try to desperately forget what the fuck he just said there. He basically, I think his ego's hurt. The fact that she wasn't totally fucking into him.
Right.
And then when he said, well, fuck it, it's over, he was trying to get her to fucking beg for it, and she didn't.
Yeah.
And she didn't. So now he's coming back, trying to get her all into him, so then he can tell her to go fuck herself.
Yeah.
That's what I think he's going to... Am I right?
Yeah, he's playing mind games with you, sweetie. Run the other way.
Run the other way. There you go.
Yep.